Hey, what's up, beautiful people? Welcome back to Tease Time. I'm TJ. Thank you for tuning in. Today we're gonna get started on some of the things that I think might be difficult. We got our shower stuff situated. We have a gaping hole in the floor, and that's the reason why all that PVC pipe is out there. We're gonna start trying to get the plumbing stuff situated. So that's today. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna show you how to assemble like some of the pipe, but most of the stuff is gonna be involved crawling on the ground under the van. And let me actually show you the difficult area so you see what I'm talking about. And then like once I show you actually how to assemble like the PVC pipe, I'm gonna use a saw to cut it. This saw right here, I'm gonna use that to cut the PVC. All that PVC that I'm cutting is for the drain, so it's gonna go into the gray tank. So I don't mind if there's like some shavings from PVC piping because it's not gonna be drinking water. The PEX lines, that's a different story. That might be a different video. I don't know. This is gonna be probably multiple parts because I do have water tanks. I have a bunch of fittings. There's heat pads for the water tanks, and there's also the sea level tank level for the tanks also. So we have to take all that into consideration. The reason we do what we do. It's going to probably be multiple parts. It's not going to be all finished today. Water tanks are in these bags right here. Those have yet to come out. We have the right size. We have the correct fittings, I believe, for everything we need to assemble. It's just a matter of getting everything fitted and in. But let me show you the difficult part at the bottom of the van. I already got some cardboard down. But this is going to be like the difficult areas right here. Because you have your fuel feed that when you fuel your tank, it goes right here. This is where our shower comes in. So we have to figure out, like, we want it to 90. Most likely that's a 90 under this. But the thing is, like with the drain, you want the pipe to be higher than the tank it's going into. So I don't know if I'm gonna have to come like down, swoop like over. I don't know, or swoop back. That'd probably be a good option. Come down, swoop back, and then swoop that way, and then a T into that's the hole for the 1.5 inch pipe. So we're doing 2 inches for a drain for the shower, and then also I'm gonna have to go through and like foam seal around that, like once I have that in, or I can even just go ahead and do that now, but we have to do that also. But the thing right now is just trying to keep everything high. So when everything does come through, it's gonna come through and it's gonna shoot in behind this mud flap, and luckily there's an opening for it. So I'm thinking of having it come in through there. This is where it starts getting difficult. And coming over enough where it doesn't interfere with like the leaf spring, and it shoots in that way. Like the only downside with that is just like if I do have a tire blowout, it might take out the pipe. So that's something to consider also when you are trying to figure out where you want to run your stuff. I just don't want the pipe to be lower than the drain, or on it to kind of go from a high to a low going into the tank, so we don't have any like stagnant water or anything like that. So that's what I have to figure out. So I'm gonna get that figured out, but I'm gonna show you just how to like to assemble like the PVC pipe, but I'm not gonna show you me running everything through. I'm gonna show you the finished product, or at least finished to the point where the tanks will eventually live, and those will live. So those will live in this box right here. This is where the tanks will live. For like all the tank, the height is gonna come about like right here. So we do have like a little bit of room like to get the pipe to come into it, but I want to get everything fed up to like this point at least. So this way, once I have the tanks in it situated with like all the heating pads and everything, I just have to connect the fittings to the tanks from this point. So the difficult part is going to be just back there, getting it over like the wheel wells and just trying to get that figured in exactly how to get that to run through. Missing the leaf springs, probably gonna come in between the tires. That's what I'm thinking. So that's what I'm gonna try to do. And then the PEX lines will also follow those. Those will probably be a little easier. And also, since there's a pump, I don't really have to worry about like the highs and the low spots, like having it mounted like higher than the tank or lower than the tank. There's gonna be a pump that's pumping the fresh water into the pump, into the plumbing. So that's a little bit more flexible, but for the drain, it's kind of gravity wise. You want to just have the pipes higher than the tanks if possible. It'll just help with flow. But yeah, let me get into cutting some pipes. Let me get some measuring going. For this video, I'm gonna try to keep it short because like this is gonna probably take time. It's definitely gonna take time. I have to do that, and then let's not even get into and then. Let's just worry about getting these PEX pipes, not PEX pipes, but the PEX. Well, PEX and PVC, which I just kind of said, kind of contradicted myself earlier with the PEX, if I want to do that in this video. But like, we'll try to get everything like somewhat fed to this point, waterline wise. So then from there, we just have to worry about just hooking stuff up. But that's the difficult part, is just back there between the wheel wells, getting the pipe up here. So that's the fun. All right, so let's get a test piece fitted. Our PVC, I got a 45-degree angle, 1.5-inch pipe. This is what we're using for the drain for the shower. We're not going to show you on that. But you need a permanent marker, a tape measure is helpful. The permanent marker is just a line, like when the fitting is snug and where it's supposed to live. Like so. You'll take your fitting, you'll put it in, try to get it snug, and then you could also do a line like that, just so you know how deep you need to put that in. And then also, if you want to have like alignment mark, so that way, like if you have to get these fitted in certain angles, do like a match line, like so, something like that, so you can match it up. So you'll take, mark where you want your line. After you measure, line it up. Plug in your tools. Line it up. Cut. And that's the easiest way to cut. And then I use a shop vac to clean and blow this out. Take it, do your chafe. Make sure you don't have any high edges. All right, so we have our line marks right here. We have our two pieces, our 45, our 1.5-inch PVC pipe. We're going to take some cleaner, and we're going to take our single steps PVC cement. Also use gloves, a mask, goggles. Make sure you're safe. Do not get this stuff on your skin. It is not good. All right, just make sure you shake them up. All right, take your cleaner. And mind you, it will most likely wipe off your permanent marker, so keep that in mind when you're cleaning. Like so. Take it, wipe it, and also get the inside of this a little clean. Like so. Then you take your PVC cement, this is clear, and then just a nice little couple rounds like so. You don't gotta go crazy with it. And then put it together, do your line marks, and that is it. And it's pretty much cement's instantaneous. Let that set, that's done. So we have to do that for the rest of the fittings. And before you even do that, it's probably good to just go ahead and just get everything lined up how you want it to assemble, and make your marks to how everything is aligned. So that way, because that sets pretty quick, so you don't have like a lot of time to play around with it. It's like glue, assemble, glue, assemble, glue, assemble. So let me show you what I have. This was the practice piece right here. I already have everything lined up at the bottom, or actually it's all like mounted. I just have to put my marks so where everything aligns. But actually, let me get all of that assembled, and I'll show you what I have finished. So this is just the process I'm going to do for the tire piping. And like I said, I'm just going to get the PVC pipe to the water tanks. We're not doing the water tanks today, but like everything will be there, make life easier for me when I do get the tank situated, because I still have to put the tank level sensors on them and the heating pads on them. So like once that's in, and also the mounting tray. So when that's in and assembled, it'll be easy just to hook everything up. Everything will be right there. But the difficult part is getting it done today behind the tire wheel well. So yeah. All right, let me show you where I'm at. So this is what I have for the plumbing on the bottom. That's the shower drain right there. It runs to the sink drain right there, and then it runs to the front. And like I was doing labeling them an A, like where the piece is connected, because I assembled off the truck. I just had to put it in. And then we have like a flex right here, the union to drop this from the 2-inch to the 1.5 inch. So that way for vibration also, this has a little give, so it's just not putting a lot of strain on that joint right there. And then we have a long pipe going straight to the front. And the jack stand you see here, or the jack itself and the bottle jack, the bracket for my mud flap was bent right here, so I'm using this to just bend that stuff back, and also to kind of give a little extra clearance right there. I might have to put like some rubber behind it just so it doesn't chafe through. But let's see the front pipe. And then for the front, I just put a little cap on there. It's not glued or anything. That's just for future. But I have everything up and it's braced. Everything is good, it's secure, it's not moving. The tanks will live in this box that it's in right now, or it'll live in this box you see right here. But like when I get the tanks in, that's when all this will get connected. The tank will probably live like somewhere right here. The fill or the top of the tank for like the waste for the gray tank will be somewhere like around here. So I plan on putting like a 90 and a 90, and then putting like a little 1.5 inch rubber coupler, so that way like vibration and for the fitting on the tank doesn't like break loose. But yeah, that's done. So right now I have to get like the PEX, but that's going to be ran a different way just for like routing behind the tire. That was just a nuisance, and that was like the hard part. Everything else should kind of flow in here somewhat easily. I plan on you going in between like these ribs right here. I just want to have at least the amount of 90-degree joints for the PEX, because that kind of drops pressure. So coming from the bottom of the van, we're gonna have a 90, and it's gonna come, and then I plan on being able to bend it to the point where you might have to use like a little extra slack and just kind of watch out for the exhaust pipe and stuff. Yeah, to get that to come in. And then we're gonna have a city water outlet also, and I have to cut a hole in the side of the van for the fill, and for the city water and the vent and stuff like that will come too. But we're piecing it together, just trying to get it there to that certain point of completion. That's the drain for the shower. That's in, and the sink will eventually live like right here. And then I just have a pipe here, so I just have to plumb into that whenever we get the the sink situated. So that's there. And then like the other PEX pipe right here that you see right here, some has already been plumbed going to the hot water heater and stuff. So I need 2 more to come in for the fresh tank, and then for the city water. The fresh is gonna hook up to this. The city water is gonna bypass that and go jump ahead of that. But I still need to figure that out, because I need to figure out filtration and stuff like that, just to make sure the water is good and safe. But yeah, I'm thinking, should I call it for this video, or do I want to keep running with the PEX? At least get that stubbed out. Boom, 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 boom. Do I want to? Because this is what I have right here. This is a Sharkbite fitted PEX pipe right here, 1/2 inch. Contemplating, do I want to run that through in this same video? Sure, why not? So I'll show that. I'm gonna get that ran and I'll show you how I have it routed. I just wanted to show you the PVC pipe before I threw the mud flat back on, just so you can get a better visual of what it looks like down there. But let me get that stuff pulled out. Let me get that ran under to show you my routing. And then I'm just leaving like an extra slack over where the water tanks will be, just to like plumb everything in. And I'll just cap off and tape off the end so like dirt and stuff doesn't get into them. But that'll just make life easier when we get to that point of installing the tanks. But all this is just different stages, different steps, just to get this complete. It's just about done. Woodworking wise, I believe I'm about done ish, maybe. Yeah, but we're getting there. But the puzzles, the hard pieces, or the pieces I thought were hard, I'm trying to do now. The plumbing, get that out the way. And then also eventually coming up probably after this video or the next video after that, I have propane lines and stuff I need to run and get that stuff figured out and situated. And that kind of goes in hand with the cabinet, the cabinet over there where the stove will live, because I still have to drill a hole for the access for the shutoff for the propane line. And for the propane for that, it's right there. But if you're watching this video and you're listening to me ramble, you just got a little preview of what to come. Yeah, but let me get the pecs going, get the mud flat back on, and then I'll show you how I have my pecs, my Sharkbite stuff situated, going from the back of this wall where our water pump is into where the tanks will eventually live in our outlet for our city water, so I can plug into a hose. But yeah. All right, and this is what we have for our PEX pipe. We use a Sharkbite. It's easier to install than having to like braze and solder and deal with all that mess. And the fittings are also reusable. Reusable meaning you could disconnect with this disconnection tool right here. And then you just need cutters, deburring tool. These are just some 90 degrees to hold them in that fixed position, to have it going around like a corner or something. And you can also use like 90 degrees, and there's 45-degree angles and all types of various fittings that come with Sharkbites. And also like one-way valves, which I'm going to use for like my fresh water, so it doesn't backflow. And it's same thing with city water and the fresh water. So we have that. But all these are just various tools. I just want to go through and actually just show you how to get like an end set. So you want to get like a flush, nice 90-degree even cut, deburr, and that's all really it takes. And then just push the connectors on. So you make sure they're seated and they're good, and that's it. And then if you do have to like remove something, you have this tool right here to remove it. Sold separate. All these pieces are sold separate. It's not really a kit. And I'm using a 1/2-inch PEX pipe, Sharkbite. What you want to avoid is using like 90 degree, as many 90 degrees as possible, because the more 90 degrees, like sharp 90 degrees that you have, that's your pressure drops. So if you get like bending swoops, that's what these come in handy for. Use those, or even if you could just bend the pipe to get it where it needs to go, and then use like clamps to mount it so it doesn't move. That will save you on pressure drops. So if you want to have some decent showers, try to avoid as much pressure drop as possible. But I'm going to show you just how to cut, deburr, and then just push a fitting on. And then I'll do my install, or at least install to the point of like the bottom area being done to feed where the tanks will eventually live. So that way I can seal up all the holes around like the shower drain, the sink drain, and then even where these come through the floor, we can get that stuff drained, not drained, but sealed. So that way everything is kind of getting to the point of just trying to make it as easy as possible for this like last final stages. But let's get into cutting with this. You don't want to use like a saw. You don't want to try to get like shavings inside. So that's a nice clean snip cut. And then deburr, and yeah, but you'll see. Your deburring tool. Like so. Take your fitting and just push it, and that's it. And also a good thing to do, you could mark like the end so you know when it's fully seated. Use a permanent marker just to mark that. You could just line it up like so. And just so you know where like the end will be, you just mark right there, so that way you know it's seated. But that's it. That's the most simplest way that I've found to do it. It's durable. You have any leaks or anything like that, you have your disconnection tool. And let me actually show you how to use this. So you take it, like if you need an error, you need to change this fitting or get the PEX pipe back off. Just go like that, you squeeze, and it comes right off. So it's easy to do that, and then reuse it. Done. But that's as simple as it gets. But let me get that stuff ran, and then I'm gonna show you what I have at the bottom of the van, what I have situated so far, what I'm trying to get accomplished for this video anyway. It's just kind of getting like the hard stuff done, so when the tanks go in, everything will be like one little spot, so I don't have to do like a lot of crawling on the ground. There'll still be some crawling, but I don't have to go end to end. I'm just trying to get everything to the easy spots, and the easy spots will be where the tanks will live. So yeah. And bada boom, bada bing, it's in. It's installed as far as I wanted to install it. This is what we have here. I just wanted to show you. I still need to get some more rubberized wire clamps to actually like hard mount it to the chassis. I have some self-tapping screws that I'm going to use. But I went ahead and ordered it. But like, you don't need to see that part. That's pretty easy, self-explanatory. But this is what I have for my plumbing. We have our 2-inch. A 2-inch reducer to 1.5 inches. This is our drain for our shower right here. So it goes through. This is gonna be a drain for our sink. And then here are the Sharkbite. I put 90s on here just to cut that angle to get them to get routed around the chassis. Make it a little easier. And then also, if you're mounting at the bottom, you just have to be aware of like the screws that come through the floor already. Like for a previous mounted stuff, you don't want that to sit there like that and shape through. So that's where the rubberized clamps will come in handy. I'm gonna put them around that, and then I'm gonna screw it down so like it'll be like that, it'll be fixed, it won't be able to move, so you don't have to worry about a hole going through. And then from there it goes through to right here, and I put extra holes around it just so everywhere where there will be like metal to plastic contact, it'll insulate. So then when I throw like a clamping, the wire ties, it'll hold everything tight like that. So like the vibration, everything should be situated, and that's just water pipe, water coolant hose that I'm using. And then I have it running all the way through, and like all this, like I said, will be mounted once I get the stuff that I ordered, the rubberized cable tie holders, and that will be screwed into. So that will run all the way like so. And then all right, and then it comes up over and then back through one of the ribs. And like I said, coolant holes just to insulate. So like when all this is bolted down, that'll have tension and pressure and keep that held in place. And then I also, more coolant holes in there. Anywhere it would be like metal to plastic, just so you don't have to worry about a vibration wearing that through. Same with right there. And then I just threw an extra PEX going right there. This is where the tank will live, right here. So you have plenty of extra, so we don't have to worry about being short. And even if it is, we can put like a union in there. And then for the drain that goes from where the sink and the shower are, it runs between the wheel well right here, right where the tire is. So there's enough room. Clearance wise with suspension, you should probably have like a good 2 inches of play or room before like a, let's say a suspension component compresses, like that leaf spring back there. We have 2 inches, so you should have to worry about that. That should all be good back there. The only thing I have to worry about probably is like if the tire ever blows out, it most likely is gonna take that pipe out. But like if it does, we could cut and throw like a union in there, splice it to fix that. But like that's the only concern I really have. But yeah, we're getting there. Eventually right here, this wall you're staring at, that's going to be where the fittings for where you fill for the fresh water and the vent for the tank. And then tanks will, of course, live right here. I got to get that stuff situated. Propane lines are coming. That's got to get situated. But like this is the hard part. So now that everything is here and I have like the 1.5 inches capped off, I just have to run into the tank. So everything will be done from like where I'm sitting here. So it'll make life easier. It's just all that crawling and just getting everything situated back there. That was just the thing I was just prolonging and just I don't know, just dreading to do. But like that part's done, so everything after that should be easy, just as long as you don't have leaks and stuff like that, which we should be good. But yeah, hopefully this has helped somebody in some sort of way. If it did, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. So until next Wednesday, don't let anything stop your flow. Peace, TJ. Oh yeah, this is the icing on the cake. This is where the lines come in. So I just have to seal all that stuff up with some foam sealer or some silicone or something. We just definitely need to get that sealed up so we don't have bugs crawling in here. So we have that, and then we also have our drain for our shower. And then the icing on the cake, this lives like so. And yeah, so I'll catch you next time. Peace.